going on, guys? Cerebro here for T3G, along with
Full Throttle.
And today, I'm super excited. I'm real excited.
I'm not so excited.
So to kind of preface this whole thing, I used to work at the Microsoft store back in the day. Microsoft trained us on all the kind of cool stuff that was going to be Windows 8 when it was about to come out, and all things Surface. And I was super hyped for Surface. When Surface came out, I was excited. I own one of the first Surfaces now. I got it on clearance because I don't really have that kind of money for a tablet, but
we here at T3G are,
you know,
we work on a
we are budget pimping. We are budget pimping, and but since then they've come out with a Surface 2, Surface Pro 2, 3, and now today they came out with a Surface Pro 4. However,
that is not what we're talking about right now. That is not what we're talking about.
They also came out with the Surface Book. So the Surface Book. Surface Book. Is it 2 words? It's 2 words. So it's the
Microsoft Surface Book. Here, let's first. I want to go over. I have it. That's what I was doing here, guys. I was pulling it up. Here's what we have. We have a 128 gig Core i5 with 8 gigs of RAM.
So it's got 5 options. That's the
These
first.
are all SSDs, by the way.
Of course.
256 i5 with 8 gigs of RAM. Those two are with integrated graphics. Then the next one is 256 SSD with an i5, 8 gigs of RAM, and a dedicated GPU. The next one is a 256 SSD with an i7, 8 gigs of RAM, and a dedicated GPU. And the last one, which they do mention if you go on their website and you look, they do mention there will be a terabyte, but at the current moment, the last option that's available is 512 gigabytes, i7, 16 gigs of RAM with dedicated GPU, and that is currently... Oh no! Okay, it's back up. It was sold out when I was looking.
It was sold out earlier, so they must have made more.
They must have made more, but
they got the employees. They got them cranking it out.
The price of the top model is $2,699.
So
literally.
So all those 5 models with a future 6 one of a terabyte coming at some point.
Yeah. Obviously.
Those 5 are ranging from $14.99 to $26.99. A little bit of sticker shock, but to me, not so much. I watched the video before I saw the prices.
You did.
And
so did I.
Mind you, $14.99 to me seemed real fair and really exciting when I saw all the specs in the video, because the specs in the video are all top-end specs.
Right.
So in the video, it talks about the dedicated graphics. It talks about the 16 gigs of RAM. It talks about, up to a terabyte. So I'm like, all right, cool. And then I went on there and it says, pre-order now, $14.99. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's multiple. It said up to a terabyte, so there's multiple configurations.
Right.
So it starts at $14.99. So that's not as exciting. $26.99 is a bit outside of my range. I don't know that I could bring myself to put $1,500 in anything with 128 gigs, because especially if you're going to advertise it on your own site with AutoCAD. It says if you want to do 3D in AutoCAD, this is the model you should get. 3D models take a lot of space, especially in 2015.
Well, let's first go over what the system comes with. Just a little more specs. It's a 13.5-inch screen and it's 3000 by 2000 resolution.
Yeah, it's their Pixel Sense display.
Ultra HD. It's because it's not 4K.
It's not 4K.
It's over 1440.
Yeah, well, it's just short of Quad HD.
Right.
So I think they just call it UHD or is it QHD? I think it is considered QHD.
Ultra HD, yeah, I think it's UHD.
Huh. Well, regardless, it's a really large freaking resolution. The 13.5-inch screen. I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
my MacBook's 13.5.
I'd plug it into something else.
Yeah, which it does still have. That's the great part about it. With this device, you're going to get all the things that you have with the Surface, and you have a couple new features. Yeah. Now, you have 2 USB ports now, which I think...
USB 3.0s.
USB 3.0s. A little disappointing that they didn't include a C.
There's no reason why not to include a C.
Like
it's a small port.
Like 1 and 1.
Like, there's no reason why there shouldn't have been at least 1.
Yeah, 1 and 1 should have been there, but... I don't know. It could have been a power issue. I had a number of things.
Yeah, I'm not a developer. I'm not an engineer, so I can't tell you why it's not there. I'm just saying it could have. Comes with Windows 10 Pro. Awesome. It's 1.6 pounds.
That's light. That is
1.6.
I want to explain something to you. That is just heavier than the original Surface.
Right?
Not even Surface Pro.
A tablet.
Just the tablet without the keyboard. So now,
it says recorded mobile at 1.6, so I'm assuming that's the whole thing.
I'm presuming it's the whole thing
because the keyboard is
included. It is the book.
Yeah,
it's called. It's the whole thing. Now, here a couple highlights that I just blew up at. Right, the hinge. It's so pretty. Oh my god,
they did a good job. They did a good job.
It's so pretty. My only concern is because it closes not completely shut at the hinge.
Yeah.
I could see that as being a point of failure, but I presume this is something that was tested and maybe because of the design, I'm hoping that it's got some sturdiness to it. Here, the big things for me. It has the dedicated graphics if you go, obviously, with the dedicated graphics model. And that's really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the dedicated graphics model. I'm not going to talk about the 128. I'm not going to talk about the base 256.
Well, I do want to put this out there real quick.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to have a 128. I don't even understand anymore why that's a thing. Listen, back in the day when SSDs first came out, 60 gig, 128, I mean, most people would have been like, most people are like, well, it's flash, it's a fast hard drive, and you can put your OS on it. But you know what? Even nowadays, even though OS still doesn't require a lot, by the time you add all the software that you need to add, like your browsers, your audio software, video software, all that. Once all that is added, you're looking at over 128 gig hard drive. So there's just no reason for it anymore. They're cheap, yes, but there's really, I mean, even 500 gigs have dropped down in great value. So there's just no reason.
The storage is definitely not the driving point of the price here. I mean, I think the Pixel Sense display, you've got a couple trademarks that you got to pay for in there. The Surface trademark, the Pixel Sense trademark. I mean, obviously the Windows and all that. These are just literal things that you have to pay for as a developer. Like, you have to purchase a trademark. So to make it worth their while of purchasing a trademark and extending it for who knows how long,
right.
They got to pay for it. So they every little thing they add on is probably a couple $100, which is usually $100 more than it should be as far as like cost. So looking at the hardware, we've got the NVIDIA graphics. It just says NVIDIA GeForce.
Yeah, it doesn't
GeForce
say
graphics. It doesn't give us a specific model. This could be because we're still in pre-production.
Right.
This could be because they don't want to reveal it.
Well, here's the thing:
if
you're advertising on your website that you can do CAD and stuff like that, I'm assuming it's a fairly powerful GPU. I wouldn't say crazy powerful. I'm not thinking they tossed a Titan X in this thing, but at the same time, I'm gonna give it a benefit of the doubt that it's a fairly
probably 720 or 750.
Well, if we're going with the new ones, I mean, you're probably looking. I would say maybe a 960.
Probably 960.
Maybe a 960.
Fair enough.
If I was to throw it at, who knows though?
Here's the thing.
It's a fairly big GPU, as you pointed out to me.
It's huge. That's the biggest thing for me.
So the actual card on it.
So this thing is two parts, right? This thing's two parts. The top comes off to give you the Surface tablet experience. Still has the Wacom pen. I don't think it's a Wacom. I think it's just their own digitizer with 2,300 points of pressure, something dumb, just something ridiculous that most people aren't ever going to use. But it's one of those things that the Surface by itself looks awesome. It looks like they have cooling everywhere. They have cooling in the front of the hinge. They've got cooling around the edges of the Surface. And that's because you're running an i7, potentially up to an i7, but even an i5. Now, granted, sixth generation, we're really efficient and we're really cool.
Yeah.
Those are the two big things in the 6th generation.
Yeah, I mean, the CPUs haven't really been getting faster at this point. They've been how much more efficient are they getting?
How much can they do with less resources?
Right, so
that's the big thing now. But on top of that, you still have a physical fan.
And we're back.
But no matter how cool you get, no matter how cool the thing runs, it doesn't matter because even if you max it out, if you are doing your CAD, and if you're doing it independent of the base, which has cooling, the tablet unit itself still has a physical fan. So it's got cooling vents all around, but it's also got a physical fan for the processor as a heatsink. So I think it's really well cooled. I love it. It has kind of a more updated design from the original Surface Pro tablet kind of venting that was around the edges.
It definitely is.
I love the look of it. Here's the thing. It does not innovate in any way as far as design, I think, besides the hinge. I think the hinge is kind of really unique as far as design goes, the look and functionality.
It's definitely an interesting way to go with the hinge. I mean, there's been different options nowadays. Obviously, we've seen plenty of laptops that have a detachable screen. So we've seen
double
hinges,
hinge, flip around, all kinds of stuff.
But this is a unique way. I personally think it's a cool design.
I love it. I love
it.
It seems to be sturdy. It seems to give you everything from your adjustability, and here's the thing. From a tech side of things, from a repair side of things, I don't think it's going to be fun for any tech to work on that thing. You're probably replacing the entire hinge setup at the base. But as far as functionality goes for the user, I think it's going to be beautiful.
I mean, listen, I think, the way
here's
it
the
looks,
thing: if you look at inside of the middle, inside of the bottom piece, it shows where the hinge connections are.
Right.
And it's like, I believe it's 6 or 8 pins that connect it to the frame.
Right.
And the rest is just that, whatever that system is that gives it the sturdiness.
I almost feel like if anything goes bad, you're replacing the entire keyboard.
No, the hinge will detach. The hinge will detach, but I think the problem is going to be if the hinge damages to a level that you have to replace the whole hinge.
Right.
You might be replacing the ribbon cable that connects the whole thing together.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Which is, if you look at the actual images and if you look at the video, it's super thin. I actually spent about 5 minutes trying to figure out how everything connected. Yeah. Because if you look at it, the ribbon cable they're using is so small, and it almost looked like it was part of the case itself.
Right.
Because I'm super excited. I think it's really cool. But the big thing about it is, the hinge is cool. You've got the dedicated keyboard. It's supposedly it's got the it says best in class keyboard key travel. So it should be a pretty good keyboard experience. But that's not even my concern. My concern is the graphics card. The entire back portion of the keyboard base is graphics.
The top,
and that's
top
insane.
Right is just all graphics.
And that's just nuts. So if you are connected,
if
you've got the whole thing set up,
board. I mean, if we're talking legitimate here,
it's
it's a
13-inch, so it's probably a 10-inch. It's a
10-inch card.
It's a 10-inch graphics card.
That's insane.
That's nuts. Even if it is a mobile graphics, it's a huge mobile.
I mean, it might
be a Titan Mobile.
It's a lot of right. It's a lot
at that point.
Here's the thing. One more thing I want to point out. It says up to 12 hours of video playback for battery life. That's impressive.
And that's going to be with both hooked up together.
Right. That's what both hooked up.
And this is cool. It's got base. It's got battery in the base. It's got battery in the surface. Of course, when separated, you have to have battery. Otherwise,
Yeah.
But when it's connected, it's got, I think, 4 more batteries on the base, or 5.
Right.
So you're really just cranking it out.
So it's a very good portable laptop while at the same time you have a tablet. Now here's my thing. Besides everything that we've gone through, full-size SD card reader in the actual base, really that's it. Headphone jack, headset jack. Camera 5 megapixel front, 8 rear, but I don't know. Do you really care? I mean, the front, I guess, you're doing...
It's a 13-inch tablet. I want to try to start a trend of people making fun of people who take pictures with tablets like this.
I agree.
Dead that. Seriously, your phone is way better. I understand if you are old... Bring a camera. Just bring a camera.
Otherwise, at that point, just bring... I mean, you can get a T5i and you're good to go.
I'm saying, but don't spend $600 or even $200 for a tablet to take pictures like this. Just get a camera. It looks ridiculous, and it's got 8 megapixel on the rear. Who cares? What are you going to be taking a picture of?
That's true. I mean, the 5 megapixel on the front,
is nice. Is nice
if you're on the road and you're doing like a a Skype chat or something.
It doesn't say anything about the video quality on the front, though.
It does not. It does not. But I mean, regardless, I would assume with a 5-megapixel front facing, you'll get.
That says
something.
1080p. Oh, it
That's
says
for the
1080p
rear.
on the back.
Which I mean,
Probably
you'll still probably have
480 on the front,
or 720, one or the
maybe
other.
720,
maybe
yeah.
720. But here's my biggest thing: is the top model, the 512 gigabyte, worth $2,700?
Listen,
That's hard for me to swallow.
Granted,
now,
I could
I'm
never
looking at-
afford it.
Here's the thing: I'm
that's my
looking for an
big
aspect of being. How can we put this in a nice way? Not being able to financially spend that much and be okay
here's
with
the thing,
I guess.
We are, let's call ourselves young middle-aged,
Don't say that. I'm young, man.
still young entrepreneurs.
Still young
entrepreneurs. Whew, that hurt. And we're trying to kind of get up in the world and do this whole thing. And I'm pulling up my modified MacBook to do anything on the road.
Right.
He's yanking around a 7 or 8 pound.
Almost like a 10-pound. It's the old Asus G50 something.
Yeah, it's the Nighthawk. The huge,
it's
gigantic
huge,
thing.
giant man. It's a gaming system, but I mean,
It's
I
got
wanted
power.
at the time when I bought it, I wanted performance.
Sure.
And at the time, thin laptops weren't a thing yet.
Not
Not with
powerful.
performance,
Not
not powerful
powerful.
ones. So I picked it up. It's heavy.
Right.
Plus, on top of the brick that you get with it adds to that.
That's the thing. Is there's a lot of weight you got to drag around, and if you are, let's say, a young up and coming entrepreneur, and you're trying, you have to be places, you have to do things, especially if you're doing any kind of video production.
I mean, if this thing's
Even
gonna do
AutoCAD,
CAD, then
maybe you're at a desk, but
Right.
then why are you using a portable device? That's just I've never
Right.
understood that. If you're at a
Right.
desk, get a daggone desktop.
I mean, if you're at a desk that you're constantly at, I'm not like a desk if you're at Starbucks, but if you're
But
actually,
I'm saying, this is something if I do want to, alright, I went to California last week, some videos coming soon for you guys, but I went to California last week and, I'm with my MacBook and I had to bring the MacBook, I got to bring the charger, I got to bring all this stuff. If I just want to edit a 10-minute video,
right.
I shouldn't need all that stuff.
Right.
I mean, I do, obviously.
I mean, at the most
but
that you're gonna
with something
need
like
is-
this, that'd be real easy for
Yeah.
me. And you guys would have seen a couple videos
'Cause
from
this
me
gives
while
you-
I was there.
Well, that's the thing. You wouldn't have to have brought a tablet because that's a tablet.
I'm saying, because I brought a tablet, I brought a laptop,
Right.
and I brought MP3 player,
Yeah.
and I brought my phone.
Yeah.
So I brought 4 things. When you could eliminate all that with 12 hours of video
Yeah.
play. I mean, I don't need video play, but if I can get 3 hours of editing out of it,
Yeah. No.
shoot,
Absolutely.
editing and rendering.
Now, here's the thing. Performance-wise, to what the package is amazing. $2,700.
It's just rough. I know.
Hard.
Here's the thing.
I mean, listen, they're
Even-
clearly going for a audience that can spend that money.
on clearance in 2 years after the Surface Book 3 comes out,
Right.
maybe I can pick it up if it's clearance down under $1,000. But here's the thing, it's not going to be.
It's
no
not.
one's going to clearance it under
That's the
$1,000 because it's going to cost them that much more than $1,000 to
Yeah.
bring it in. So no store's going to have a clearance. I cannot spend $2,700 on something like that. I can't endorse spending $2,700 on something
I'm
like that.
sorry. It's
Listen,
just-
if you're in a higher tax bracket, obviously we said earlier it was sold out.
Yeah.
People are buying it. People are
clearly
going
had
to
money.
buy it.
They clearly
They're-
had some more
It's
added
not-
to it, but
Yeah, it's not even.
it was sold out maybe midday today, like 5-ish.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
even
not even
3-ish
concerned
maybe.
for them as far as
So-
people buying it. I just think it would be. I think it would be beneficial for. And I don't know. I'm more of a whole world kind of thinker. I'm a big supporter of open source kind of stuff. So if it was available to more people, I think more would be accomplished with it.
I agree.
I
agree.
still think $4.99 for a regular Surface tablet is just absurd.
It is.
Like, I'm sorry, yes, okay, it comes with Office, but at the same time,
I mean, listen, let's
like
be
it's still
serious.
a tablet. It's not like if you're gonna be functional with it. Like if I'm spending $500, I'm not buying a tablet. I'm not buying a Surface.
I
I'm
agree.
sorry. I spent $170 on my Surface 2 years after it came out. Surface 2 was coming out.
Yeah.
Surface 2 Pro had already come out. Surface 2 was coming out, and I bought
We can all agree that a lot of us are in the budget bracket, and we're not in the higher tax bracket. We're in the budget bracket, and when it comes down to that, as cool as this is, and as what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, I don't know. I lost the word that I'm trying to say, but regardless, as cool as in performance and what the package gives you is impressive. What the package gives you is impressive. They clearly put a lot of time in it.
It's a really well designed. It looks to be well built. It looks like it's going to be powerful. I mean, it's going to be all the buzzwords that people try to sell you things with. Thin, powerful, fast, all those things. This thing has.
It does. It really does.
I still don't think it's worth $2,700.
It's a huge number.
I think if they could have brought that top model in under $2,000, I would have defended that price without any hesitation. Yeah. Over $2,000, you're getting into territory of stuff that would be a severe investment for me, or a severe I'd be waiting until the next model to get that. Because I'd be saving up.
Let's be serious. I mean, the system. When I did the budget video at 3,200.
You guys checked that out.
We built the system that we could have would trump this. Okay, and obviously that's desktop versus laptop.
But sure,
but at the same time,
but even if you were to bring down $300 worth,
but even then, even if I was to still bring it down a little bit, I didn't have to get as big of a case or whatever. It's just...
Because you had two Titans?
No, I had a single 980 Ti, but that's not... The point is that's a $600, $700 card.
Right.
But the point is at $2,700, this is still limited. Okay? It doesn't have,
There's no upgradability.
It's still not a desktop replacement.
Exactly.
At that price, it's still not a desktop replacement.
Because
I can make a better desktop at $2,700 by far.
Sure.
So it's I get it that there's a lot of production that goes into this, and then a lot of money goes towards that production. But at the same time, as I was trying to explain to you earlier, is most manufacturing companies, they just have a really good way of saving money in doing the production of these things, especially of the boards and the memory chips and all that. So when it comes down to it, I promise you it's not costing them $2,700 to make this thing. I agree with you. If the top model, and when I say top, I'm talking about the 1 terabyte.
Sure.
I'm talking about the 1 terabyte because, like I said, 128 just doesn't make sense.
Here's the thing. A terabyte is under $500 from me.
Yeah. For a consumer.
Under $500, I can get a terabyte.
Yeah.
I can get 16 gigs for, under $100. So that's $600, and I've already got half the...
and it's DDR3, so it's not DDR4, it's DDR3 RAM.
Right.
So at the same time, it's nothing... And once again, to whoever's manufacturing all this, to them it's not expensive to do.
Right.
Does it cost money? Sure, but
they're not paying.
Not
they're
that
not paying
each
the
person would
$70
pay
for the
$2,700.
Yeah, they're not paying $70 for 16 gigs. They might be paying $20 for 16 gigs.
Yeah.
So the difference there is that $20 when you go up, 8 to 16 gigs is what? What's the difference?
So the difference.
So the 256.
That's a good call. I didn't look at that. So
256 dedicated right there.
If we go with this i7.
So with 16
is $600. $600 to go to a 512 and a 16 gigs of RAM. No.
It's just not.
The answer is
it's
no.
Just not. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I would say their cost on that might be $200, and I think you still make money by making that a $300 upgrade.
Even at cost, that's being nice.
That's really giving them a wide breath, saying that they've got top end parts in there, and it cost them $200 to add those two things, and it really didn't. It might have cost under $100, but I just don't see,
$600 difference between.
He can vouch. I am a huge supporter of the American industry, the American way.
Absolutely.
Make that money, please make that money.
Yeah.
As long as everybody makes that money, I'm cool with that. But the problem is, when you make something so expensive in order to make that money, you exclude a whole group of people. Here's the thing. If I was Microsoft, if I was any developer producing a product for the general market,
it'd be for the general market.
That's the difference. I would never want to have it in stock. I would never want to have extras.
I agree.
I would want that back ordered forever.
Always sell.
Because I would make it so cheap that I would sell so many units that it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter. And then you could order in twice the bulk and you would sell twice as much. Now, on the flip side of that, since I'm kind of a devil's advocate kind of guy, on the flip side of that, there is the concept of perceived value.
Right.
I do some graphic design once in a while. I get a freelance client, and somebody will say, "Why is this so cheap?"
Right.
Because I'm a firm believer in not really overcharging people, charging them what the
like
time
where
is
you can
worth.
Still make money.
Yeah, where I'm making a few dollars, but I'm not overcharging for what the time is worth.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: people ask me, like, "Why is it so cheap?" When I tell other designers what I charge, like, "How can you charge that low?" I'm like, that I don't see a reason to charge more.
Right.
Like, I don't see the point in that. But some people looking at a low price could see a diminished value.
Yeah.
Because again, I think this is a higher tax bracket problem for me. I'm going in. I bought $70 headphones here for $25 a piece.
And we always will.
Yeah, I won't ever spend $70 on headphones unless they're $300 like Sennheisers or something. And I'm just like, $70? Yes. Yeah, I'll spend $70 on a $300 set. Yeah. But I won't spend $70 on a $70 set. Because it damn sure didn't cost that much. And I know they're still making money at $25.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, is the product good?
I think it's awesome.
From what they're giving us on paper,
God, I think it's awesome.
It's awesome. I can't wait to see anybody else that's not us to review these things and run performance runs on them just to see how good they are.
I'll go to a Best Buy. I'll play around.
If somebody wants to give us one to review,
Microsoft wants to throw us one for a review.
But at the same time, written down specs, great, amazing.
Yeah, the specs are fantastic. I think that
I recommend you pre-ordering one? I can't say that right now. There's no way I can say that right now. I think that's going to be a
personal decision and a priorities decision. Listen, if you don't have a laptop or you need a laptop, if you need a production laptop...
That's the biggest thing. Do you need a production
laptop? Yeah, because that's the thing. Here's the issue. A lot of people think they need way more than they actually do.
Right.
If you are not going to be video editing or up... Video editing is the bottom of that list. If you're photo editing, whatever, there's other way cheaper devices.
Yeah.
If you are video editing or higher, 3D modeling, etc., this might be the device for you. If you don't have a portable device, if you want something that's also a tablet, if you're kind of juggling, like, do I get a tablet, do I get a more expensive laptop, etc., get this. That's a great all-in-one solution, I think. I think this is I am in love with this thing. As soon as I saw the video,
guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm the one that wasn't. He actually is.
I'm in love with this thing. I mean, the technology in play. I think the design is gorgeous. I think all the functionality is cool. I love the fact that they built the magnet for the pen into the side of the tablet, so it just sits there. It doesn't have like a little groove or anything. It doesn't look like. I'm super excited. It flips around. It'll give you kind of a raised tablet. So if you want to draw, if you're an artist, you've got all these things. Like, there's so much you could do with it. And, if one day I get a chance to play around with it, that'd be fantastic. And, it's funny. It's one of those things that when I see it, I already see the potential in it. I see what I could do with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, it's kind of sad that I won't be able to. But at the end of the day, I think if you need a performance, professional, portable computer, I think this is definitely a great way to go.
Now, here's the thing. You can get performance laptops that are not as thin. They maybe weigh 4 to 5 pounds instead of 1.9.
That's why I said
and
portable.
They don't have
you need portable.
They don't have a removable screen.
Yeah.
But you can still get the performance, and you can save. I mean, if you're going off the top model, you can probably save $1,500. You can probably get a unit at $1,200. I mean, you can for sure.
I know you can.
Because I have been looking. So
yeah, you can get i7s at $1,200 to $1,400, no problem. Here's the thing. It's very much about what is priority for you. If you need all of the things or most of the things that this provides, I mean, I really think it's a no-brainer. I think this outclasses anything at its level. I've checked all the the like great deals in all the other companies. I checked Origin. I checked Razer, which I've got some thoughts on Razer. I'll get to that in another video. But I checked all that stuff, and comparative, spec-wise models are the same price, and you don't have the tablet features.
Right.
And you need the power and the portability. And I think that's the biggest thing. If you need the power and the portability, this is a great choice. If you just need power, but you don't necessarily need it to be ultra light, if you're going to be going from a car to a seat, back to a car, if you're going meetings to meetings, but if you're going to be walking around a college campus with this thing, this is the best. I mean, under 2 pounds, you can almost ignore it for the whole day.
Once again, under 2 pounds, when it's put together, 12-hour battery, and it's a tablet.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing is do you need a tablet, and do you need that light of a laptop when it's together?
Yeah.
Those
are the two biggest things.
Because that's what it eliminates. Performance-wise, you can have other things that have performance, but do you want to eliminate carrying an additional item, like a tablet?
Yeah.
So that's really the biggest thing. Do you need a lightweight, and do you need it to be able to disconnect from the keyboard to be a tablet?
I think those are the two main questions when you're looking at something like this. I don't know when it's actually coming out. Does it have a date yet? Ships by October 26th.
There you go.
So I think that's actually this is like, October is their month, which is funny because that's our month.
That is our month.
But it's one of those things that I don't necessarily think you should pre-order it before seeing it. If you're not sure. If you are sure that you need the portability and you want a powerful tablet all kind of in the same package,
right.
I mean, I wouldn't even wait for it.
No.
I wouldn't wait because I would want it shipped to me as soon as it was available. That's me.
And if you have the money for it, guys, don't be taking out loans.
Don't break the bank. Don't max out a credit card.
Don't go crazy.
Again, here's the thing. I mean, I don't want to say that.
Well, here's the thing. If you have a job that's going to pay for that within the next month or two,
then
if you
need it, and all you have is credit, and you need it, I mean, do what you need to do.
Right. But if you don't need it, but you're like, oh, I want to have this new thing from Microsoft.
I would not break the bank for this unless you absolutely need this. But if it's not going to break the bank and you want something new, I think this is... I love this thing. I'm in love with this device.
I am not as in love. I think I don't... How can I put it? The performance is great, but the price really pushes me away from the
price is
product.
killer. The price is killer, and like I said, I'll probably never own one. I might, if I end up, sneaking one of those bottom end models on a sale sometime.
I mean, there might be sales. There might be sales.
Down the line.
There might be sales.
Or who knows? Maybe all you guys go out and buy our game, and we get some money, and I can go buy a Surface Book. But,
listen, regardless. If you need it, and you have the money, or even if you know that you can use credit, then pay it off really quick, then get it. Otherwise, wait till you are able to go to the stores, check it out,
play around with it, definitely.
See other people review the performance of it, if it's actually as good as the writing states, and then kind of decide from there. But that's basically all I have to say for that.
That's pretty much it. But
we do have a contest going on, guys. We released a video 2 videos ago. Because we're going to be posting this up next. So yeah, look out at that. Take a look at that. We have quite a few things we're giving away.
Games.
A lot of games, a lot of other items as well included with the games. So make sure to check that out. All the stuff that you need to know are on that video to get that contest going. And otherwise, that's about it.
That's all we got. Appreciate you guys for watching. If you have any questions, drop them down below. What are your thoughts on the new Surface Book and the new Surface?
The Surface 4.
Surface 4. Surface Pro 4.
Yeah.
So the Surface 3 is still the base model.
Right.
But yeah, what are your thoughts? Any questions? Like I said, I've had hands-on with the original Surface. I kind of know the concept behind the whole thing. It's definitely been upgraded since the first time. I think I have thoughts. But anyway, appreciate you guys for watching. Check out T3GTech.com, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. As always, I've been Cerebro for T3G.
Full Throttle.
Signing off.
Want to pre-order?